Hey guys, it's Shannon. I have another great spring project for you today. I am so excited to be finally decorating for spring, and I have a whole idea in mind for our new family room that we have been making over, so I'm excited to be adding spring decor in here. So I have a very cute project that you could really personalize and create it to match your own home's decor. But let me show you how I'm going to be creating this farmhouse style beaded garland. All right, so let's look at the supplies that you'll need for this project first. And of course, you're going to need some wooden beads. I will link these down in the description box. I'll put them in my Amazon favorite store. I did order these off Amazon, but they are about 1 inch wide. You can find these in craft stores as well. And then also, I have some string that I got from the Dollar Tree. And then also some trim here that I got from Hobby Lobby. And these two items is what prompted my decision on paint colors. So I'm going to be using white and plaster by Waverly. So this is a chalk paint from Walmart. And then I have a paintbrush for each one of those. And then we have some barbecue skewers and a pan that's going to make our painting a little bit easier. I'll show you that in just a little bit. I also have my glue gun and glue sticks, a pair of scissors, and then I thought it'd be fun to throw in a little bit of greenery since we're doing a spring look. So what I've done here is this is just a piece of, or a section of garland that I got from Hobby Lobby with the lamb's ear. And I just picked off a couple of the stems off of there, or the leaves off of there. And I'm gonna use those in mine, but I thought it would be also a great idea to use. This is sort of a lamb's ear from IKEA, and if you pick a couple of these off there, I don't think you'd notice it all either. So maybe check the plants you have around your house and just grab a couple little leaves off there and make those work instead of buying a big garland like I'm going to be using for this project. But let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with painting our beads first. And here's the idea behind it. I'm just gonna be using these barbecue skewers to feed the beads onto and then lay them on the pan so I can paint without holding each bead and getting paint all over my fingers. But if you don't have these supplies, of course, you can just hold these and paint around the beads. Maybe wear gloves or something to kind of keep that much paint off of you. This will just kind of help that process along. So what I'm going to do is paint half of my beads in the plaster and half of the beads in white. So here is a look at the beads. I'm just doing one coat of the chalk paint on them because I want them to have a weathered look. I don't really want them to have full coverage. Of course, if you want that look, you can go ahead and do that and add a second coat. And I really like this idea with the skewers because your beads aren't rolling all over, and they also get the chance to dry evenly. And once these are completely dry, then I'm gonna go ahead and paint the rest of them white. And again, I'm just gonna do one coat of paint on those as well. Now while our beads are drying all the way, we're gonna make our tassels for the end. And like I said before, this is just string that I got from the Dollar Tree, so really, really inexpensive. And then you need something hard like a book or cardboard, and this just was handy, so, and about the right size. So I grabbed this. It's just a little notebook thing, but it's hard enough that it'll keep its shape as I wrap the string around it. I hope the lines on the book don't make it too hard to see what I'm doing here, but I'm just gonna wrap this around quite a bit because the more that you wrap, the more fringe you'll have at the end. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap this around and around, and then I'll come back and show you how to finish this off. So here's the look at my bundle of string, and just to give you a better idea, this is about 4 inches tall if you like to make one about the same size. And then I did wrap this a good 75 times, and you of course could do more if you wanted it fuller or less if you just wanted a smaller one, but just an idea on what I did here. And now we're gonna go ahead and finish off this tassel. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just trim these 2 strings here at the bottom. One is the one we started with, and then this one's still attached. So I just wanna get these about the same size as where we folded it over. And then we're just gonna pull off our string here, and you wanna be really careful because you don't wanna lose this loop at the top because we're gonna be using that. So here is what it looks like. It's just a big circle of string, and we are going to tie off this top part here. So we're gonna take more of our string and tie a knot. We wanna leave this loop here at the top. We don't wanna lose that because we're gonna use that to tie it onto our beads. So we just wanna secure this bundle so it doesn't come apart. All right, so I tied about 3 knots here just to make sure this wasn't gonna come apart. And now I'm going to take the string and wrap it around and around. Not only will it make it have a nice finish, but it will also secure our string so it doesn't all unravel. All right, so here is the top part all wrapped, and we're gonna find our tail from before and tie it onto the part that's still attached to our spool and secure that string into place. All right, so now the next step is to cut our loops apart down here at the bottom. So just sort of grab them and get your finger in there so where they're all making that archway there, and then just take your scissors and snip through them, pulling so that they all kind of are about the same even length. And that's all there is to making a tassel. And now we're gonna make one more of these so that we have one on each end of our beaded garland. Here is a look at the finished tassels, and now we can go ahead and start stringing our beads. I'm going to be using the same string that I did for the tassels. I'm just going to alternate back and forth between the plaster color and the white just to give it a nice rustic kind of farmhouse look. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to feed our string through the loop in the top of our tassels and tie a knot, and that will give us our start to our garland. All right, so I wanted to show you up close what I did here. So I pulled the string through the middle there and tied a knot, and then I cut this tail a little bit shorter. And what we're gonna do is when we put our bead on there, we will feed the bead through both of those, and that will hide this, but it'll also make sure that this doesn't come untied down here. And then I cut quite a bit of length off of my spool of string. That way I have more to work with when we get to the end, and we do the same thing to finish it off with this tassel. All right, I already super love this, but I wanted to mention a couple tips that I had, and that is to put some Scotch tape on the end of your string as you are stringing your beads. It makes it lots easier. And then also I added some tape to the ends of those pieces that I left short, and then fed that up into those beads. Not only did it help get the string all the way up in there, but it also will help keep it secure and keep it from coming back out. And now that I have this all strung, I am going to add a little bit of embellishment. So that trim that I showed you earlier, I'm gonna use my hot glue to just add a little bit around where we tied up the tassel. And then I'm also going to add my leaves that I showed you earlier. I love the soft and subtle look of these farmhouse style beads, but I'm wondering, what are your favorite spring colors? Let me know down in the comments below. I hope this tutorial inspired you. Make sure to give it a thumbs up for me. You can also hit the share button and share this with your friends and family to inspire them too. So follow me both on my Facebook and Instagram pages, which I'll link down in the description box below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I like to bring you all new DIYs, tutorials, and new inspiration every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can hit the bell as well so that you get notified when my videos go live. And I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.